In Venomverse, we see the Symbiote Hive-Mind as it has a conversation with the web heart. See, the Symbiote Hive-Mind is a sentient mental metaphysical realm that spans the multiverse, connecting all symbiotes, while the web heart is essentially the connective tissue for all spiders across the multiverse. The Symbiote Hive-Mind goes on to state, since the dawn of creation, life has grown together. No being can survive and thrive in isolation, and thus the symbiotes seek collaboration. Since being freed from those dark influence, the symbiotes have become ambassadors to that ideal. But the Symbiote Hive-Mind has seen that symbiotes will be unable to coexist with spiders. And thus a great game was formed to decide who will be eliminated to make space for the others. The Hive-Mind has selected particular symbiotes to represent their collective in the game. A survivor, a teacher, a protector, an enigma, a sovereign, and a blight. But the team still needs a leader, so the Hive-Mind reaches out across the multiverse, searching. AIM Lab, somewhere in New York City, we see these two scientists experimenting with some mice as they have a little bit of the symbiote strain. As the scientists are not paying attention, the symbiote strain bonds with one of the mice, and thus creates this new badass mouse symbiote. The mouse symbiote breaks open the bars and frees the rest of the mice, and then makes for the exit. But he can't help but notice all the other wild animals in captivity. Now, I'm not sure if it freed the animals or simply ate the animals. Nevertheless, this symbiote gained its freedom. The symbiote and its mouse hosts fight for collective justice against injustice. But unfortunately, he doesn't seem to be a good candidate for leader, as the Hive-Mind doesn't think he'd be able to stand against the spiders for too long. The Power Pack family home, we see all the kids sitting down in the living room enjoying a movie. But as the kids are watching a movie, unbeknownst to them, they're being watched by a hostless symbiote. The symbiote breaks into the home, hoping to get a glimpse at the research of Dr. James Powers. If you don't know, both Dr. James Powers and Margaret Powers were known for their breakthroughs in quantum physics. They also have several powerful kids, which consist of Catherine Power, Julia Power, Jack Power, and Alex Power. But as the symbiote is looking at their father's research, he's confronted by none other than little Catherine Powers. Now, Catherine confronts the symbiote, asking him what is he doing with her dad's stuff. But the symbiote tells her to mind her own business. But what the symbiote wasn't expecting was for little Catherine Powers to try to blast his ass into oblivion. But what Catherine wasn't expecting was for the symbiote to see this and eat her little ass and subsequently bond with her. Now, the rest of the kids confront the symbiote as they want to know what the hell happened to their sister. But the symbiote tells the kids she's safe before proceeding to blast the kids with energy beams and make for the exit. But as symbiote Katie makes for the exit, the kids are in hot pursuit, wanting to know what the hell's going on. But symbiote Katie beats the shit out of the little kids, letting them know that they're not the boss of her, as some of her childlike immaturity slips through. But as the kids are getting overwhelmed, they're subsequently rescued by their parents, who have a lot of explaining to do. The symbiote has bonded with little Katie Powers of this universe. Katie's ability to convert mass into weaponized energy will work very well in tandem with the symbiote. But it can't be ignored that she's still a small child and thus has some maturing to do. Then on top of that, this symbiote was attempting to operate without a host, so apparently he doesn't see the benefit of symbiosis. So hopefully the symbiote and little Katie Powers can mature together. Back in New York City, we catch up with one familiar face as we find ourselves in the apartment of Eddie Brock. His symbiote reminisces on how Eddie was once upon a time the king, as he connected all symbiotes across the universe, guided them, and protected them. But unfortunately, he had to give up that power as he still has obligations here on Earth in this timeline. As Venom and Eddie sit in their apartment having a conversation, they hear some commotion on comms as Hobgoblin is attacking the city. Apparently, Hobgoblin has been plucking people right off the street and putting them in these containment units. But Hobgoblin is confronted by none other than Venom, who brings him down. But Hobgoblin says he doesn't give a fuck because now that Spider-Man's gone, it's no fun, and it's all your fault, implying that Spider-Man's death is somehow due to Venom's actions. But Venom can't allow himself to be distracted by Goblin because there's still innocent people that need to be saved. Venom saves the people in the containment units and stops the units from dropping from the sky, and then he proceeds to slap the fuck out of Goblin for putting them in danger in the first place. The hive mind states that this Venom is like a lot of the others across the multiverse, but the burden of responsibility that he carries makes him truly unique. The sympathies that this symbiote has for a spider is concerning. Nevertheless, attempting to follow in that spider's path has shaped Venom into a formidable force, a force driven to fight for ideals larger than himself. And it is for that reason that Eddie Brock and Venom have been chosen to be the leader. To be continued.